SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.
When banking starts to feel less personal, you know where to find us. Community Bank. Deep roots, local people, personal banking. Visit communitybank.net. Member FDIC.
The mission of Palmer Home for Children, at its core, people looked and saw children who needed a place to call home. And so today, we're responding to that same original mission.
This light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
You're listening to the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Go to supertalk.fm/PalmerHome to help rescue and restore a child in need.
Good morning and welcome into the 14th annual Palmer Home for Children Radiothon on SuperTalk Mississippi. Thank you for being with us. 2013 was the first year that we as a company made the decision, leadership at our company made the decision to dedicate an entire day to this organization. It has become a friend, it has become a partner. Palmer Home for Children has, that is, and it has become an incredibly special day because of you. Across the entire state of Mississippi, you have given with an incredible amount of generosity, and we're asking you to do that again today. Again, the 14th annual Palmer Home for Children Radiothon. A year ago, we celebrated the 130th birthday of Palmer Home as this great work continues for an organization that started in 1866. And we just are going to start things off with one of the staff members here today. You have gotten to know through the years Whit Lewis. He is Senior Director for Community Partnerships, and that means Whit gets to go out into the community across the state of Mississippi and share the story of Palmer Home, Whit, about the good things that are happening here and how organizations can get involved and help.
And it's not just organizations, but, we're thinking about the individuals, we're thinking about businesses and churches, civic groups, and even today we're going to see all throughout Radiothon that it takes everybody, and how everybody gets to be a part of something that's bigger than them, something that is, that feels good, something that is helping, something that is yet for the grace of God that we might need those same type of care. So yes, I get to do that. I get to talk. I get to run my mouth about a mission that is making a difference, whether it's throughout towns, whether it's on the phone, whether it's in churches, whether standing before civic groups. I get to just basically promote and to share not only the mission, but also what God's doing within this mission, but also how others can come and participate in this as well. It's a lot of fun because I enjoy running my mouth. I enjoy running my mouth about things that are making a difference. And so, yes, I'm having a great time with it.
You're not exactly in sales, but in some way you are, because you're pitching an organization. But what an easy pitch it is for as long as you've been involved, and for what you're able to see on a daily basis in terms of lives that are being changed, children who are coming from difficult situations that can take all different shapes and sizes. They can look different for every child, and yet they're coming to a place where they are loved and they are cared for and they are important.
It's basically, I feel, sort of like a third base coach, right? And when he's at third base and he's waving the runner home, my role and my responsibility is I get to kind of help folks point to and say, look, come be a part, come join, come be a part of the mission, and just kind of waving that flag of, hey, here's how your life can make a difference. Here's how your life, whether you're thinking through, what am I doing with my business, my family, hey, here's how your life and your resources and investing your time and your talents and your treasures can make an incredible difference in the life of someone that you may never, ever meet. but God has put you in a position to be a part of. And so my goal is really just kind of to wave them on home and, hey, come be a part of the team, which is what we're doing here today. We're encouraging all of Mississippi to come be a part of the team.
And there are a lot of ways that you can be part of this team, and that includes making a financial donation. We can make this as easy, or where you don't have to talk to anybody and you don't have to do a whole lot, or if you want to have a conversation with somebody about Palmer Home, that option is available to you as well. I'm going to give you the easiest ways to give throughout the day. supertalk.fm/Palmer Home. You just go to our website, supertalk.fm/Palmer Home. You can make an online donation if you want to talk to someone. We've got folks that are hanging out in the boardroom and are glad to take your calls through the phone banks today. The phone number is 662-469-5533. Again, 662-469-5533. If Venmo is the easiest way for you to make a donation, it is at Palmer Home-for Children. Look for the little leaf emoji right there, and I think that's what you see on the Venmo. Or you can just text Give Palmer to 833-402-4519. Again, you can find all of that information on our website at supertalk.fm/Palmer Home. So when you go, Whit, and you are sharing the message, you're sharing the vision of Palmer Home, what's the story that you tell?
So oftentimes I try to make it as personal as possible. Because we can all give presentations on, what we do, how we do it, and all of those come out naturally. But I want for us to feel that this could be something that we need. Could be something that my children need. This could be a ministry that, should things happen in our lives, that we all might need to be a part of it. So my goal is to help for each and every person to feel the ministry as much as you can, because you're selling a mission or a feeling, if that makes sense. You're not really selling you talked earlier about sales. You're not selling a product.
Yeah.
But you want them to feel that, hey, what I do, whether it's $10, whether it's $100, $10,000, whether it's praying, whether it's serving, whether it's volunteering, whether it's being an advocate, all of that is being used to help make a difference. And so when I share, especially like in churches, sort of my go-to is, look, God called us in the Great Commission to go and make disciples. Also, we see in the Good Samaritan how he just took time to help. And at the very end, Jesus tells the crowd that is listening, go and do the same. He doesn't give us a list. He doesn't say you need to do this, this, and this, but he just says go and do the same. When you see compassion, when you see needs, do what you can with what God's given you to help meet those needs. And the only command there is to go and do the same. And just kind of sharing, hey, there's a lot of incredible ministries doing incredible work. Here's what God has called for the last 131 years now, what God has called Palmer Home for Children to do, to provide a safe home, soft beds, stable meals, spiritual disciplines and direction, to help a child have a childhood and a positive childhood as much as possible.
And so when you go and you speak to churches, obviously there are leadership teams in those churches that ultimately are making decisions. Hey, do we partner with an organization? But if you're not a deacon, you're not an elder, you're not a pastor within a church, maybe you're just a member, and you're hearing about this for the first time, Palmer Home for Children, and the work that's happening here, maybe the calling is to reach out to part of that leadership team. Sure. And say, hey, this is something that we maybe should take a look at. Maybe we should invite Whit to come in and talk to us more about how we could partner and be part of this incredible organization.
And so when I meet that, and I love that, and I encourage that and look forward to those conversations that I get to have with churches across the state, with churches in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, places that I've been. And I don't want to come in with hey, this is how you do it. It is, what has God called this church to be a part of? What is it that you do and you do well? And then how can we essentially partner together? And so my encouragement is, I encourage those listening today, but also when we're speaking, is to prayerfully invest time, talent, or treasure. and God,
or all three,
or all three, absolutely. But just to start somewhere, and it's a lot just like a missional calling. Is that, hey, I may not can do this, but I can do that, and let me find what I can do to be a part of it, and it takes all of it, and so. Yes, I encourage church members to reach out to their pastor or to their leadership group and say, listen, this is a ministry that's biblical, right? It started with the church. It was created out of the church. We see it, a biblical mandate of caring for the fringe or the vulnerable population. This is something I feel that God called us to do. We just, let's reach out, and we'll just come and talk with a group, an individual, a pulpit supply, whatever it may be. We'll just kind of share, and then we'll prayerfully consider how we can be a part of what God is doing at Palmer Home for Children.
Well, and if you want to find out more about how your church or your civic organization can be involved, the easiest way for you to do that is go to the Palmer Home website. It's palmerhome.org. palmerhome.org, and you can see the contact information. You can reach out. How many churches are involved right now?
Man, we've got about 200-something plus churches in one way or another.
That's incredible.
And so we're excited about what God's doing there.
But there is room for so many more, and we would love for you to be involved. Whit, great to see you as always. Thanks for leading us off this morning.
Absolutely.
It's the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon. We got started in 2013. This is our 14th annual, and we're glad to be spending the day with you. supertalk.fm/PalmerHome, or if you want to call, you can go to 662-469-5533. Thanks for spending part of your morning with us. We're back right after this.
Good morning from the Venable Glass.
You're listening to the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Go to supertalk.fm/PalmerHome to help rescue and restore a child in need. And now with more, here's Richard Cross.
Once again, good morning to you and welcome in. If you're just joining us, we have just gotten started with the 14th annual Palmer Home for Children Radiothon. We will be here until 6 tonight. I'm going to hang out with you along with Will and Lance until about 10 this morning. Then we will hand things off to Gerard Gibbert for middays. Rebecca Turner will come along at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And then from 3 until 6, Michael Borky and Brian Haydad will be here for Sports Talk Mississippi. I'm going to come back, I think, and hang out with them. I think there's a bet that has to be paid at the end of the day. So I'll be back with them for the last hour today as well. And we welcome you in. The 14th annual Palmer Home for Children Radiothon. Today is about raising money for the incredible work that is happening here at Palmer Home on the campus, but also in other places through other programs that are part of the Palmer Home story. If you want to make a donation, we need you to. We would love for you to go online to supertalk.fm/PalmerHome. You can give online there, or you can call 662-469-5533. Susan Moffitt joins me now. She is the Director of Family Care at Palmer Home. And I said just a second ago, there's so much that's happening here on campus with the children who live here, but there are also programs that are beyond. You're based in Nashville, and the Family Care program is one that has continued to grow and has been incredibly successful.
Yeah, we have. We've been there, or we've been a part of Palmer Home since 2014, and so the years have just gone by really quickly, but it's been a great opportunity, and it's, what I love about it is that continuum of care, that we serve children here, and now we have the transitional program where we can serve young adults, and so it's great in Nashville to be able to serve parents as well, and to, to work with moms who are incarcerated or who are in alcohol and drug treatment sometimes, or mother-child programs. So we come alongside those moms and have families who volunteer to keep, to keep their newborns if they deliver while they're in prison, or to keep their babies while they finish up treatment, or there are just even so many small things that can cause disruption in people's lives. talk about all the time, sometimes a mom is in a program and she's pregnant, but she has another small child. And so we'll have a family who can keep that 3-year-old, while mom goes into the hospital to deliver her baby. So we do some short-term things, and then we do some longer-term things of moms who have, a little bit longer sentences. So those families are all volunteers, and they come alongside mom, and they are just really incredible folks who share Jesus, as they develop those relationships.
So there's a lot to unpack there in terms of kind of the different avenues of the family care piece of this. But I do think it's important for people to hear that the primary goal with Palmer Home is restoration of families. It's not about finding a new home for a family, for a child, but it's about walking alongside families who are going through difficult times and trying to help get them to the other side. Is that a reasonable way to describe it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Palmer Home is such a long ministry, years and years, and every generation has had specific needs. Mm-hmm. And Palmer Home has met those needs of different generations. It's been here during times of war, during the times of struggle, during times of depression, and the needs were different in different seasons. And so, it's just about developing those ministries that are most effective for the needs. And there are a lot of families now who don't have family. There are a lot of families who don't have a church, a lot of families who don't have a community to wrap around them. And so it really is an opportunity sometimes just to come alongside and prevent it from becoming a much worse situation.
All right, so with mothers who are incarcerated, they find themselves in a prison system. How does this work? How do these relationships begin? How do you develop trust?
Yeah, so they usually hear about us by word of mouth. Another mom shares a story. 20 years we've been in the Tennessee State Prison for Women, and so they hear the story from another mom, and they ask to meet with us, and we just start a very informal relationship initially, and just to really get to know one another and talk about what they need. Sometimes they might have another person who's going to actually care for their baby, and we can come alongside that person. Or sometimes they need someone to take care of their baby, and so we can match them with a family, and the family can come in to the prison and meet them and start to develop relationship. They can have phone calls, and they've got tablets now, so we've got like an email system where the family can send pictures and talk with them. And the goal is that they know each other before a baby's born, so that stress, because it's so stressful to deliver a baby while you're incarcerated, because your time in the hospital is so quick, and then you're required to go immediately back to prison. And so if they know the family already and have relationship already, sometimes they can even talk that very day, the day that we go in and the baby is discharged to a family, they can even talk on the phone that night. And so it really reduces the stress of that, of what's an awful situation.
Yeah.
So it all really started because of the need to keep babies in the Nashville area so they could have regular visits. And our prison has a weekend program where 2 weekends a month a baby can come and stay the weekend with mom after baby's 3 months old. So if the babies are able to stay in the area in close proximity to mom, then they're able to have those visits every weekend. Have those face-to-face visits. And so, even if they have family, sometimes they're so far away that they wouldn't be able to have those frequent visits. So, that's the foundation of relationship, right? That attachment, that bonding, that mindfulness that a mom has. She stays engaged with when the well checks are and all the developmental milestones and all those things. And she has that solid relationship with her baby from the beginning, which is so different than a baby just being taken away somewhere.
I feel like when you hear about this, if you're hearing about the family care program, mothers who are incarcerated and getting help with their babies as they're pregnant or immediately after they're born, it takes us out of our comfort zone a little bit, because with regard to criminal prosecutions in prison, I feel like we get a little jaded about that, and forget that maybe ultimately, when it's working the way it's supposed to, a correctional facility is supposed to be about rehabilitation.
Absolutely.
Yes, there is a penalty, but it's also about serving your time so that you can come back and can be a productive citizen, or in this case, a productive mother.
Yeah. And, you know,
do you see it happening, though?
Absolutely. We see it happening. And, you know, I think what it takes is people that can come out of that mindset of judgment and understand that mom in context of what her life has looked like. Because, you know, it's not all about choices. It is all about you know, the things that she experienced as she was growing up and the opportunities she had or didn't have. So there's great value in, you know, strong believers coming along beside her to offer that support, because often she's never had any support. She's never had any opportunity, and that's not by her own fault. You know, I mean, most moms have grown up in the foster care system. Most of them don't have, you know, they come from generations of struggle. And so it's really, you know, again, about even coming out of the mindset of prison being punishment, but an opportunity for rehabilitation, an opportunity to you know, to get education sometimes, to get some job training. And our goal is to have long-term relationships, not to just come in, you know, take care of the baby for a season, but that mom now has resources.
So a family helps with a child while a mother is incarcerated, and then mom serves her time, comes out, gets on the right track. Does that relationship with the families that have helped continue?
Absolutely.
So that there's accountability, but also somebody to kind of walk alongside?
Yes, absolutely. And with our staff. I mean, we have long-term relationships, and most of our moms come out through those mother-child programs, and so the children go immediately back to mom. But, you know, there are ongoing supports there, because, you know, I mean, even if your child's in child care and it closes for holidays, but you have to work on that holiday, well, who's going to help?
Child?
Yeah.
Give me a success story. We've got 1 minute until the break. Give me a story that you've seen where a mother has come out of this, and this has been an incredible blessing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I often think of actually the mom that's I think my biggest prayer warrior, Jonna. She lives in Knoxville, and we met her in the early years, and she did great. And she, you know, she came out. She did have a family to go back to, but she immediately got a journey back, and she's had this long-term relationship. I think Journey's about 10 now.
Wow.
And the family still has Journey very frequently in their home, and the two families have gone on vacation together frequently. And honestly, Jonna prays for me more than anyone else I know. She knows my children by name. She prays for me by name. It's just incredible, and I'm blessed to know her. I'm blessed to have had the opportunity to meet her.
Well, God bless you for the work that you're doing, Susan. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you. Thank you for all you're doing.
It's the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon.
You're listening to the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Go to supertalk.fm/PalmerHome to help rescue and restore a child in need. And now with more, here's Richard Cross.
Good Thursday morning. Today is July 16th, 2026. This is a special day at SuperTalk Mississippi. We are spending the entire day on the campus of Palmer Home for Children for the 14th annual Palmer Home for Children Radiothon, and we are glad to be with you. As we begin this segment, if you happen to be watching online, you don't need all of this. You can scan the QR code that you see there at the bottom of your screen on SuperTalk TV. That will take you to the donate link for Venmo. That's at Palmer Home-for Children. You also can go to our website, supertalk.fm/PalmerHome. supertalk.fm/PalmerHome, 662-469-5533. We always kind of ease into things on the day. You're getting up, getting that first or second or maybe third cup of coffee by the time that we hit 6:30, but not too early. Talk about starting your day on a good note, having the knowledge that you are impacting the life of a child that needs your help here in Mississippi. What a great way to start the day. We got here early this morning. Houston got here earlier than I did. Houston and Alex did. But thankfully, our friends at Coffee Central made sure that we were caffeinated as soon as we got here. Coffee Central, coffee bar and breakfast spread is prepared. They have a location in South Haven on Getwell Road. You can stop by and see the folks at Coffee Central for breakfast, lunch, and, of course, for coffee to learn why they were voted DeSoto's best coffee shop. Something that we have talked about for a number of years, but we haven't actually done until today, is give you a visual representation of all 82 counties in Mississippi. So we've got a goal today. And I'm not even talking about a financial goal. We'll get to that, I guess, later as we go through the day. But we want to do something that shows the power of everybody coming together in the state of Mississippi. And so we've got a county map, 82 counties, just in case you are removed from your Mississippi geography lessons. And as we have a donation that comes in county by county throughout the course of the day, we're going to paint that county green. We've already got a couple that are green on the board. I do know for a fact that the very first county that was painted green this morning was Lafayette County. So I'm proud of that. My home county, hometown right there. But looks like there's one in the Delta that has been filled in as well. Is that Sunflower? All right, Sunflower County on the board as well. So Lafayette County and Sunflower County. Are you impressed that I could do that by the shape of the county? Feeling good about that. Mr. Sharp would be so proud of me from all those years ago. Great stuff. I want to tell you about one of the things that I would encourage you to consider as you're thinking about a donation today. It is easy, it is appropriate, it is right if you want to make a one-time donation today. That is outstanding, and we would love for you to do that. And you can do that by going to the website, supertalk.fm/PalmerHome, by using Venmo or by texting Give Palmer to 833-402-4519. But here's what I would like for you to consider. As opposed to just making a one-time donation today, be it $5, $50, $500, or anything else that feels like it is the right amount for you, what about let it be a recurring donation, an ongoing donation? Begin a relationship with Palmer Home that is a monthly thing. And by giving monthly, you allow Palmer Home to do some longer-term planning because of donations that they know will be coming in on a month-to-month basis. But it also allows you to kind of spread out your donation, perhaps give more than you think you would be able to otherwise, and have some really tangible understanding of where your dollars are going. Some options, and you are not limited to these options, but they are options. For $19 a month, you can fund a welcome pack for a new child that is coming into Palmer Home. In the welcome pack, you will find very basic things like a toothbrush and a hairbrush, clean underwear, pajamas, a blanket, and a Bible. It is a very basic kit, but one of the things that Drake Bassett has talked to us about through the years is it's not always the case, but there are regular occurrences where children come here and they have nothing beyond what is on their body. That might include shoes, it might not. It might include a coat, it might not. Occasionally they will have a child that comes with a plastic grocery sack that has all of their worldly possessions in it. And so right out of the gate, as Palmer Home works to begin to establish trust and to show love for these children coming in, one of the first things they do is give them something that is uniquely theirs. Something that we all take for granted, right? A toothbrush, a hairbrush, pajamas, clean underwear, a Bible, a blanket, so that you can kind of have that snuggle feeling. And for $19 a month, you can make sure that those welcome packs continue to be there for children when they come in. For $30 a month, you can help with a home-cooked meal for a cottage. Now, if we're being honest, it takes a bunch of $30 a month to feed these cottages because you're talking about large family settings that are on campus right here. They do an incredible job with a combination of donations and just traditional grocery shopping, though they buy in bulk, and they're able to stretch those dollars as much as they can. With up to 10 children living in each cottage, you know how much food they're going through, and your gift can help feed a house full of children. That's for $30 a month. For $50 a month, you can help fund their fun, and that's pretty self-explanatory. If you've got kids or grandkids or nieces or nephews or cousins, you know that they are involved in extracurricular activities. Those activities are not free for your kids or the ones that you know, and they're not free for the kids at Palmer Home, whether it's playing in a soccer league or a youth baseball league or taking horse riding lessons or going to a camp in the summer or any of the things that we have to deal with as parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, etc. They cost money. And for $50 a month, you can help fund that for a child here at Palmer Home. For $100 a month, you can help provide each child that is here with academic instruction and support that they need to ensure their success along the way. Not necessarily talking about private school or public school, but simply all of the things that go along with that. Back-to-school supplies, clothes for back to school, extracurricular activities that are related to being at school, field trips, all of those things that kind of fall under the academic category. For $100 a month, you can really help with that. So I hope you will consider, and more than that, I hope you'll pick up the phone or go online and make a commitment to being a monthly partner with Palmer Home for Children. PalmerHome.org is their website. You can go to supertalk.fm/PalmerHome if you would like to give there, or you can call. Talk to somebody about the way that you set up the online giving. You can do that with a credit card. You can do it with a checking account withdrawal, a savings account withdrawal. Just have those account numbers ready, and they can help you with that. That number, if you want to talk to someone who is waiting for your phone call, you may do so today. It's 662-469-5533. Again, 662-469-5533 if you would like to make a donation. We're going to show you pictures of that map as we go throughout the course of the day. A couple of the 82 counties have already been painted green, and that's our goal as we go through the day. We want to see all 82 counties. And it's going to be fun. You know that SuperTalk Mississippi is a statewide radio network. You can hear SuperTalk in all 82 counties. To our neighbors to the east in Alabama, to our neighbors to the north in Tennessee, to the west, northwest in Arkansas, west, southwest in Louisiana, we can grab a Sharpie marker and we can add your county or your state to the giving if you would like to do that, because state lines and county lines don't dictate where children in need exist, and we're working to help throughout the day. I think it's going to be fun this afternoon when we get into the later part of the day, and we've got a handful of counties remaining, and we start specifically talking to folks in a county that's in South Mississippi or East Central Mississippi or the northeast corner of the state of Mississippi, wherever it is. It won't be calling you out. It's just going to be encouraging. Hey, help us finish this map out. If you live in a county that is not represented, we may even start scrolling through who do we know that lives in fill in the blank and reach out to you directly. The C Spire text line is the best way for you to connect with us. We'll keep an eye on this throughout the course of the day. 601-879-4395. If you've got a message for us that needs to go on the air or doesn't need to go on the air, just specify that. But that's always the best way to connect. C Spire text line 601-879-4395. It's the 14th annual Palmer Home for Children Radiothon. We already want to say thank you to you because we know not only that you have been generous, but that you will continue to be so as we go throughout the day here on Super Talk Mississippi. We're back with you right after this.
Good morning.
We've been associated with Palmer Home now for a while, and my thoughts about these good folks have not changed. That you get a child that goes from the most unimaginable horrors to being blessed that they have found the Palmer Home, or the Palmer Home has found them. And all of that could not be possible because you don't get a dollar of federal money, you don't get a dollar of state money. It's all through contributions from individuals. And my hat off to the greatest audience in the world, and that's our listeners here at Super Talk, because over the years they have opened up their hearts, and man, it's changed lives. And we know that too by some of the graduates who keep calling or coming back, which is very gratifying.
And now with more, here's Richard Cross.
Before we wrap up this 6 o'clock hour, I think we've got at least one more county that we are going to add to the board, and we'll be able to paint green. We'll have our first financial update for you of the day. We are raising money for Palmer Home for Children through the Super Talk Mississippi Palmer Home for Children Radiothon for the 14th consecutive year. You've been incredibly generous through the years, and know that you will do so again today. Not going to lie. I didn't realize that was going to play, and had some chills that popped up when I heard Paul Gallo's voice. Paul Gallo was, I don't know that he was ever a skeptic, but the first year that we were involved with Palmer Home back in 2013, I remember Paul walking into this and not knowing exactly what he was getting into. And then some of the voices from the choir kind of pricked him just a little bit, and he saw the activities that were going on here, and Paul became not only a believer in the mission of Palmer Home for Children, but a huge advocate and somebody that cared very, very deeply about the work that was going on. Of course, Paul is no longer with us. We miss him dearly. We miss that incredible baritone voice and his wit and his knowledge and his humor and all of those things. But Paul's memory does live on, not just here at Super Talk Mississippi, but at Palmer Home for Children as well, through the Paul Gallo Memorial Fund. This was established a couple of years ago in memory of Paul and his unwavering support for the children at Palmer Home. This Paul Gallo Memorial Fund was established a couple of years ago, and you have a chance to donate as well. The fund directly benefits children by providing opportunities for extracurricular activities that ignite their passions and foster their talents. Funds raised help cover registration fees and sports equipment and fishing equipment and dance attire and music lessons and other related costs. On average, Palmer Home spends about $265 a year per child that is here in supporting these enriching extracurricular activities. Great opportunity for you to help. If you want to knock out that $265, and do so in honor of Paul Gallo, if you're a longtime listener. And like I do, you miss Paul. Maybe that's a great way to honor him and honor his memory with a $265 donation to Palmer Home for Children. You can go online to supertalk.fm/PalmerHome, supertalk.fm/PalmerHome, or call 662-469-5533, 662-469-5533. If Venmo is easy for you, you've got the Venmo app on your phone, just go to @PalmerHome-for-Children. You can make a donation there or text Give Palmer to 833-402-4519. Those are the easiest ways for you to give. Of course, you can listen throughout the day here on Super Talk Mississippi. You can watch on our streaming broadcast at supertalk.fm. There were a couple of kids this year, young people this year, that really stood out, children thriving in their academic and extracurricular activities, which is something that kids don't always get to experience before coming to Palmer Home. In fact, frequently that is not the case. One of our young ladies at Palmer Home, Emma, was recently inducted into the National Honor Society and she earned a spot on her school's basketball team, thanks in part to the donations that you make to help her and her brothers and sisters, literally and figuratively, here. Another little boy with us, Lucas, was cast as the lead in his school play. We're excited to celebrate the dedication, the talent, and the willingness to step outside of the comfort zone for Emma and for Lucas and for all the other children that call Palmer home their home. If you just happen to be flipping on this morning, you're just getting your day started and you're reminded or curious what's going on, or reminded, oh yeah, this is Radiothon Day, we welcome you. And we hope that you will be with us throughout the day to hear the stories of the people who work here, the parents who serve here, and the kids who live here at Palmer Home for Children, truly making a difference for 131 years in the lives of children in Mississippi, with a goal of restoration of families. It's not just about saying, hey, come here and stay here and we got you. It's about trying to grow relationships within families, repair damage that has been done, and restore, in the name of Jesus, what those families are intended to look like. But regardless, the focus is on the child, loving them, protecting them, giving them safety and security and education and spiritual fulfillment, all of those things. And those things are on a daily basis here at Palmer Home for Children. Hour number 1 of 12 in the books, the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon on SuperTalk Mississippi.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on this show are not the opinions of TeleSouth Communications, its management, or advertisers.
You're listening to the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Go to supertalk.fm/PalmerHome to help rescue and restore a child in need. And now with more, here's Richard Cross.
Good morning and welcome into the 7 o'clock hour. This would be the beginning of hour 2 of 12 for the 14th annual Palmer Home for Children Radiothon. We're with you until 6 o'clock tonight. This is a day that SuperTalk Mississippi completely sets aside. No politics, no bickering, no sports, no team arguments. Well, maybe a few team arguments, but all in good fun as we go throughout the day, as our focus is on Palmer Home for Children and the work that is happening here. Early look at the board, and it's my understanding that we've got a few more donations that are coming in, so hopefully we'll have another update soon. We're at $3,420, which is a good start for the first hour of the show as we all get that first cup or two of coffee in us. The other thing that we're doing is painting the state of Mississippi green. As a donation comes in from a place, that place gets painted green. So 82 counties, we are looking to put green in all 82 counties. So be sure when you make your donation to make sure that they know, we're going to know where you're from, but just give us the extra layer. Thomas sent me a message on the C Spire text line just a little while ago. He said, well, I made my donation. You can go ahead and paint Carroll County green. I think we've got one coming from Oktibbeha County, and a whole lot more. So we will do that, and we will update you on the progress as we go throughout the show. It's my pleasure, though, right now to welcome a friend, Madison Drake. She's Director of Development here at Palmer Home for Children. It feels like we were just doing this. It's been a full year, but
Can't believe it.
We're at it again. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Richard?
Doing well. Doing well. Great to see you. Great, as always, to be here. Tell me what's going on.
Oh, goodness. We're just so excited. This day is so fun for us. It's an exciting day on campus for everybody who works here, and the kids are just having so much fun. We enjoy the summertime because, gosh, we have so many kids who have worked really hard. They have done well at school. We had all honor roll students this year, so we're super excited. Yes, so summertime is a celebration, and we are excited that we can share it with everybody here, and we're excited for the platform that SuperTalk gives us. We wouldn't be able to get this message out without you guys, so we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much for that. Your business card says Director of Development. That's a really fancy way of saying Chief Fundraiser. She wants your money. And we all do today, because there is an incredible cause behind this, the children that are here at Palmer Home. One of the things, Madison, that we have seen for going back to 2013, now going into our 14th year, is an incredible generosity that comes from all corners of the state of Mississippi.
Absolutely. Mississippi is such a generous state, and we are really lucky that we do have people and actually our leaders in government make it very easy for businesses and individuals alike to make charitable donations. But on top of that, Mississippians are just charitable people.
Just generous.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it always blows my mind, even on years that it should be, technically a down year because of the economy or whatever that may be. People step up and they support our children in this cause, and it always just makes it.
I'm gonna raise this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just make it easier for everybody.
Oh, thank you so much.
There we go.
It makes it just so easy to make an impact and just truly change the trajectory of the lives of the children that we serve.
Yeah, today is about today, right? We've got a lot of people we're encouraging to sign up for monthly giving. There are a lot of people that make one-time donations, and we're so incredibly grateful. But a big part of your job on the development side is a little bit longer-term planning, not just one day or even just monthly, but the process of estate planning, right, the process of working with businesses who want to partner with their employees. What does that look like, and what might you at least briefly share that people could reach out to you and find out more?
Absolutely. So as far as legacy planning, estate planning goes, we have many donors who know well in advance that they intend to leave Palmer Home in their estate plans after they're no longer with us. Of course, nobody really likes to have that conversation, but it is something to think about.
Sure.
And it's one of the things that, as fundraisers and as a Palmer Home, we want to know so we can thank you.
While you're here.
Yes, exactly. We want to be able to thank you while you're here and let you see the impact that you have made and are going to make. And so we have a lot of ways that we can make that very easy for you to work with your attorney, work with your CPA, work with anybody that you need to get that arranged. And we just like to basically be a resource on behalf of Palmer Home in that regard, however we can be. Another way we do that is through Children's Promise Act, and Mississippi is one of, I believe, 2 states that offer tax credit incentives to businesses and individuals for nonprofits who fall under certain so for instance, we serve foster care we have a foster care program. We
Right.
fall under an umbrella that has a certain amount of money allocated every year, and businesses, for the most part, some individuals as well, can take advantage of this by making a donation that's in the amount of, say, their state income tax, state payroll tax, state
Right.
property tax, etc., and they get a tax credit through making that donation. So it's really a win-win for the business and for Palmer Home.
And that's one of those things that it's a little difficult for us to explain all of the details on the air. But Madison and her team would be more than happy to visit with you. And it's probably a conversation worth happening with your accountant as well.
Absolutely.
The truth of the matter is nobody likes to pay taxes,
Right.
because more times than not we feel like our tax money is wasted.
You never know.
Hopefully that's not the case, especially at the state level, but especially at the federal level. So if you have a tax payment that you or your business is going to have to make, like you're going to have to pay the tax, there is a scenario where the state of Mississippi allows you to make a charitable donation that counts as your tax payment.
Absolutely, and we can apply for you. We can make it as easy as possible for you. So that's one thing that we always want businesses in particular to know. We can walk them through that process. The state fortunately makes it very easy for us, and we're just so thankful that we do have a state that encourages this.
Absolutely.
So it makes a big difference. I think in last year's fiscal year, it brought in nearly $1 million in Promise Act donations.
That's incredible.
From businesses around the state.
So when I talked with Whit earlier this morning, Whit's out a lot dealing with churches and civic organizations. You are too. You're on the road, you're dealing with people, and you're sharing the story of Palmer Home. How do you tell the story?
The way... And, without getting into all of the history, which is so rich, and of course, we are 131 years old. We've been around for, it started in Columbus. We've grown, we've expanded, added service lines. But the things that I like to tell, the stories I like to tell, I'm real anecdotal. I'm not necessarily a data-driven person. And so I like to share those success stories from children that I have known personally, most of whom are not children anymore. And one of my favorite stories, and actually I think we're going to hear from her today, but a sorority sister of mine was at Ole Miss was a Palmer home child. And Richard, I never knew that until I started working at Palmer Home. She rushed me, and if you're an Ole Miss person or a Greek, ever was in a Greek organization, which was quite a while ago for me, you know that's something that not everybody goes out for or would want to do, and just knowing that this individual made so much of her life. She joined a sorority. She went to Ole Miss, got a degree, has a post-grad degree at this point in social work because she wanted to be able to help children the same way the social workers had helped her while at Palmer Home. Yeah. And it really did. It changed her life. And, she's an amazing person, and that's just one story. But to summarize Palmer Home in a nutshell, we provide the structure and the stability and the faith, the belief in the children that hopefully can change the trajectory of their whole life in such a way that they'll have successful lives as adults.
One of the things that we have seen over the course of the last 13 years, now into our 14th year, is generosity. And it's generosity that's measured not in dollars, but kind of in hearts and the way that people have given. Because we've seen donations that have been with a decimal in front of them, donations that were literally cents that were made, but we have also seen transformational gifts that have been made over the course of the last 13 years. And hopefully, regardless of where you are, wherever you're listening, you fall somewhere between cents and transformational. And if cents is the number, that's great. We want you to participate. We want you to be part of this. And if you want to write $1 million check today, we're okay with that
absolutely.
as well. We don't want to get in the way of that. No limits on generosity, but really is incredible to connect with the entire state.
Oh yes, truly, every gift makes such a difference. With us being a faith-based nonprofit, we don't accept any funding from the government, and so we rely solely on the donations and generosity from all of our supporters, and we're just overwhelmed with the support we get.
And one of the really cool things that happens is we see businesses that get on board. And coming up next, we're going to hear from one of those businesses. Our first matching donation of the day. We're going to tell you about that next. Mornings with Richard Cross. Today is the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon on SuperTalk Mississippi. Thanks, Madison.
Thank you so much, Richard.
We're back with you right after this.
Good morning from the Venable Glass Track.
You're listening to the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Go to supertalk.fm/PalmerHome to help rescue and restore a child in need. Now, here's more.
Back with you. It is Mornings with Richard Cross on SuperTalk Mississippi. But today, it is the 14th annual Palmer Home for Children Radiothon, and we're glad to be with you. If you would like to make a donation, we would love for you to join the party. supertalk.fm/PalmerHome, or give us a call, 662-469-5533. The boardroom just around the corner for me is filled with people who desperately want to answer your calls and accept your donations. And we are happy to welcome in a guest who's not with us on site this morning, but is part of a company that is making a big-time commitment to Palmer Home for Children. John Enberg joins us this morning. He is with Barnhart Crane. Barnhart Crane is a national company that does have a location in Memphis. And, John, good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining me.
Good morning, Richard. Glad to be with you.
Man, what an incredible day! We get to spend a dozen hours today talking about the great work that's happening at Palmer Home for Children. Tell us about your relationship with Palmer Home and why Barnhart is partnering with Palmer Home.
Yeah, so we've been involved with Palmer Home for the last 3 years now. I think our first grant to Palmer Home was in 23, and it just really aligns, the mission of Palmer Home really aligns kind of with the purpose of Barnhart, and it's just a really good opportunity for employees to get engaged, in giving and serving and really making an impact in the lives of these children.
John, what does that look like with your employees? I know we hear about matching programs or employees making donations internally, and companies will match that. How does that work at Barnhart Crane?
So Barnhart is part of a group of companies that really has a kingdom focus on why the company exists. And so with that in mind, we're very unique, kind of weird, a lot of different in a lot of ways from most companies, and that we believe that God owns everything, and that we're just stewards of what He's chosen to bless us with. And thankfully, He's chosen to bless Barnhart extremely generously over the last 55, 56 years that the company's been in existence. And each year we take a large portion of those profits and give them away towards ministry funding and towards just kingdom work to advance the kingdom and transform lives. A lot of the work is done internationally in some of the hardest reached parts of the world, in the 1040 window, but also here locally too. And that's what this is about. This is our community cares grant that we encourage our employees to become involved in and develop those relationships, so that you can have that same impact and transformation of lives locally as well.
John, lots of companies talk about culture, and they want the culture of their company to be a certain way. But when you just talk about it, it kind of rings hollow. When you're able to point to this kind of action with your employees, I'm curious how that kind of filters down throughout the workforce. You mentioned a large company. I was going through the website, and I don't know, maybe a dozen states, maybe more than that, where you've got locations with multiple offices. Barnhart's doing work all over the country. So big company, how does that filter down to your employees?
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why we do this, because generosity is contagious, and it encourages people that maybe have not experienced the joy that comes with being generous to get involved. And you can get involved in a small way. Yeah. And usually what we found happens is once you get a taste of it, you don't just stop there. You continue to invest more. You continue to seek out more ways that you can help and that you can give. And the other thing that we've experienced, and I've experienced personally in my life, is that you're not going to outgive God. So if you have this mentality that, I don't really have much to give, or I can't afford it, just try it. I encourage you just to try it and see what happens, because God is He's in control, and He's a gracious God, and it's amazing what you can see and what you can experience when you're just generous with what He's given you.
Yeah, when you take the approach that everything I have is a gift from God, and you recognize there's no way you can ever outspend God, it kind of changes the perspective. Really so tell us about this donation today. It's my understanding that Barnhart Crane is going to do a matching gift. Is that right?
That's right. And again, in the spirit of kind of trying to encourage other people to be generous and to give, we're going to match any gift today up to $10,000.
Outstanding. That is phenomenal. That's incredibly generous. I salute you, John, but I also salute Barnhart and all of the employees that make the company go, and that culture that has become so ingrained with giving. It's really incredibly generous, and can't thank you enough.
Yeah, well, it's our honor, it's our blessing to be able to be part of this.
John, thanks for your time today. Great visiting with you, and wish you all the best and continued success at Barnhart Crane.
Thank you, Richard. Appreciate it.
That's John Enberg with Barnhart Crane out of their Memphis office. So I think with that, we can pull the Sharpie marker out and we can add Tennessee just above the northern border of Mississippi, and we can show it's outside just the 82 counties, and we'll just highlight that with green after we get it up there. But $4,715 is what has been donated prior to John's call, which means that we're another, 50, let's see how the math is this morning, $5,284.50, I think, away from reaching that full $10,000 match from Barnhart Crane. And it's some of these matching gifts that allow the number that you see on the board to really grow throughout the day. And it's also crazy how momentum works, right? You're listening, and it's kind of an early, sleepy start to the day, and you see, well, there's a couple of $1,000 that has been donated, and now it's up to $4,715. But then you see that number start to grow, and it's $10,000, and it's $20,000, and it's $75,000, it's $140,000, and everybody gets excited. And we want you to get excited. You don't have to wait until 5 o'clock this afternoon to be excited. You can do that right now, and we would love for you to help. What are we talking about? If you just happen to be tuning in, if you're on the way out the door this morning to work, trying to get the kids to an activity today. Today is our 14th annual Palmer Home for Children Radiothon. We are broadcasting live from Palmer Home's campus that is in DeSoto County, and it is an absolutely beautiful place. You look around and you can see the generosity that people have given as this facility has become not just a home for the children and the families who live at Palmer Home, but a gathering place for community events, a place for worship, a place for activities inside and outside, and an incredible home. And it's because of generous donations from people just like you and from companies just like yours or just like Barnhart Crane. You heard John describe Barnhart's culture and their giving mentality. Perhaps you work for a business like that as well. You got plenty of time throughout the course of the day to consider making a business donation as well, making a donation in the name of your employees on behalf of your business, or maybe you're a grandparent and you recognize how blessed you've been with your children and your grandchildren, and you'd like to make a donation in their names. I know my father-in-law did that earlier this morning. Pop, thank you for that, making a donation, and it's something that you can do as well. supertalk.fm/PalmerHome. That is our website. You can click on the Donate Now link. It's easy, it's safe, it is secure, and it's fast. If you want to talk to somebody, you may do that as well. 662-469-5533. Again, 662-469-5533. A lot of ways that you can donate. We want to make it as easy as possible for you, and I hope that you will consider making it a monthly donation. Not just a one-time donation, but something that you are going to do. So you're not just giving once and forgetting about it and moving on, but you're committing to be a partner with Palmer Home for Children. And I promise you, as somebody who has sat in this chair for 14 years, this is a place that is worth partnering with. We'll take a quick time out. We've got more coming up with you. It's Mornings with Richard Cross. This, the 14th annual Palmer Home for Children Radiothon on SuperTalk Mississippi.
You're listening to the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Go to supertalk.fm/PalmerHome to help rescue and restore a child in need. Now, here's more.
Thanks to the generosity of the team at Barnhart Crane in their Memphis office, we have a $10,000 match that is in play currently. $4,715 is the number that we've got on the board right now. I know that the number is bigger than that, but I was told that from an accounting standpoint, we need to update this a couple of times an hour as opposed to like every time a new dollar comes in. I don't get a vote on that. We do. I mean, there'd be like a constant eraser mark on there. It'd be $8 more, $38 more, $17 more. But we got an update that'll come for you in about 10 or 15 minutes before we go into the 8 o'clock hour. I am hopeful that we will see that number not only jump to $10,000, which we're about $5,200, $5,300 away from, but we'll be able to cash in on that full $10,000 match and get you up over $20,000 as we move toward 8 o'clock. It's the 14th annual Palmer Home for Children Radiothon on SuperTalk Mississippi. There are multiple ways that you can give. supertalk.fm/PalmerHome and 662-469-5533. Whit Lewis swings back by to visit with me again. You got called into duty for a second time this morning, and I appreciate that. A couple of things I want to talk to you about, though. We talked about your role in community partnerships, working with churches, working with civic organizations, but you also live close. You're here a lot, and you get to be around these children on an almost daily basis, and you get to see the way their lives are transformed, the way they're operating. You've got kids of your own. How do you compare the way your kids grow up to the way the children who call Palmer home their home are growing up?
Not a lot of difference. And really what I appreciate about Palmer Home for Children is that that home atmosphere. You know, everything we do is out of a desire to create a home atmosphere, meaning that, you know, oftentimes our cottages, our homes look like a traditional type of home. It's not a dorm setup. It's not an orphanage type setup. It is a home.
They're beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, seeing kids ride bikes, like my kids are right now big time on bikes, going to swim at the swimming pool, going playing wiffle ball till dark every night at our house, and that's what my kids are doing, and that's what these kids are doing. Came to campus just a few days ago and looked out at the pool, and there was 10, 15 kids out there swimming, having just a big time at the pool. Again, those sweet memories, summer memories that we make. When I think about my children, you know, I think about our goal is to provide for them physically, to lead them spiritually, and to help, you know, mature them. And that's the exact same thing that these house parents and our caregivers, our caseworkers are all doing, investing in the lives of these children. And so, you know, they're doing it in a way that, you know, they might not be their quote unquote, you know, children or biological children or even adopted families, but God called them. I'm talking about these house parents, and I'm so excited to get to hear from some of those a little bit later. You know, it's a calling, and they're going to do that intentionally. And so these kids are going to school. They're playing sports. They're doing the things that my kids are doing, and that those that are listening, what your kids and grandkids do, they're kids, and they're having a big time through that. Now,
we got kids walking in right now that have got summer football workouts that are going on, that have got towels ready to go for the pool and the water slide later today. It's exactly
one or two of them I wouldn't cross, right? I mean, one or two of them that I'm a little bit thicker than I am that make me a little nervous. But great kids, and it's fun watching their maturity. It's fun watching how God is creating them. And how God is working in their lives, and to see a child, especially if they've been with us for a little while, to just some of those milestones, and you celebrate those milestones in their lives because they're celebrating those milestones in their lives as well.
You get to see the growth that happens. Sometimes the beginning is hard, and it's hard to see, and it's hard to go through. But then you get to see the growth spiritually and physically and emotionally, and just kids growing, literally growing One of the things that has been incredibly rewarding to me, and we talked about the fact that this is year 14, I feel like there are kids that we have grown up with, or who have grown up with us over the course, and we've seen them from kindergarten to finishing out high school and having athletic careers that are incredible, and it's so fun and so rewarding to watch.
I was my son and I a few days ago were going over to one of the homes, our transitional homes, and helped to mow the grass. They needed some grass cutting real quick, and so we rode over there. But one of the young ladies that we've watched mature, it's just an incredible young lady, came out, saw us, came out, spoke, and then when we were leaving, she brought us a thing of cookies. And she just brought us some cookies out of her own heart and own desire to want to bless. And I think we ate, the majority of them on the way home that day. But you just begin to kind of see that the family atmosphere. You begin to see, hey, this young lady realizes that, we were just coming to kind of help make sure to the grass cuts with HOA or whatever wouldn't be too hard on them.
Sure.
But to see that just, she was taught and had seen others help. When someone does something for you, you want to show your appreciation, and we've received that, and what a blessing that has been. And so just to watch all of that is incredible.
Palmer Home for Children is 131 years old. It has not always been easy, but it's because of the generosity of people just like you. As you listen across 82 counties and beyond in Mississippi, that this facility exists. Everything about where we sit right now, and I'm not going to lie to you for a second, it is a beautiful campus with big open dining space here that can also be used for meetings. There's a gym on the opposite end. You mentioned the swimming pool, the houses. We sometimes say cottages, but they are houses that feel just like homes. Like you and I go to each and every night when we finish work or finish the activities of the day. But everything that is here is because of a gift from someone who has said, I want to be part of the mission of Palmer Home.
So part of my role as well is I get to make phone calls to a lot of our donors, and so I'm speaking obviously to community partners and all, but picking the phone call and just thanking these donors, oftentimes on what we call a Palmerversary, right? It's the anniversary of their first gift, and I just get to call and thank them for that, for being a part of the team. And the majority of the people if they pick up the phone, right, the majority of people I'm getting to speak to originally were connected to Palmer Home through Radiothon. I can't tell you how many that I've spoken to, and I, want to get to understand kind of how their connectivity to Palmer Home, sort of their history, and there's different myriad of responses that I've heard, but over and over and over again, hey, I was listening to Radiothon, back in 2007 or 2014 or 2016, or I got connected, or every time I hear about Radiothon, it reminds me to give. And so, but those gifts, those people, churches and individuals, businesses, God is using all of that to invest in the lives of a child, in the lives of a young person or a sibling group. And some of these now, I've gotten to watch some of these young people now are graduated. They're going into the workforce. And they're working, and they're involved in school, or they're getting their education, all of those fun things. We're celebrating that, and these that are listening and those that are supporting are a part of that. And we don't want to miss that every gift, every opportunity is investing in the life of a child.
There we go. We're painting more counties green on our interactive.
I see DeSoto. She's got DeSoto right there. So we're grateful that our home county is being represented as well.
Michael sent me a message earlier in the 7 o'clock hour, said, I've made my donation. Hernando's my home. You can paint DeSoto County. So we've got that. I know that Oktibbeha County, if it has not been painted yet, is coming. Caleb was asking about that earlier. And I got a message from some guy named Haydad.
Hey, Dad, I'm looking forward to seeing him a little bit later.
Said he just donated $900 from the fundraiser that he did that was associated with a friendly wager that he and I had.
Yeah.
I think there's a payoff that is coming around 5 o'clock. I don't know what that payoff entails, but I'll be here for it coming up later this afternoon. We get a message that says, good morning. This is on the C Spire text line. If you want to connect with us, you can do that, 601-879-4395. The donations to the Palmer Home ever assist children in obtaining instruments or perhaps piano lessons. All you've talked about is sports. Yeah. Actually, that's not all we've talked about. I told you earlier this morning about Lucas, who is interested in the arts and landed the lead role in his school play. And so we are excited to celebrate that accomplishment with Lucas.
Matter of fact, he's in the room today. He's here today. Yeah,
great.
Absolutely. He just walked in with a crew, so absolutely.
Excited for Lucas. And so, yes, the answer to your question is it's not just about sports activities. It's about all of the extracurricular activities, whether it's dance or cheer or ballet or band or choir or the arts, acting, all of those things. Your donations are going to help because one of the really cool things about Palmer Home and the way they work with the children that live here, it's not a one-size-fits-all or a one-size-fits-most. It's about what is this particular child interested in. And that's one of the neat things that we're going to learn about today as we talk with some of the house parents and some of the children. These house parents get to know these kids in an intimate way so that they can see where those interests lie, where those passions lie, and then try to match with those kids. More coming up. It's the SuperTalk Mississippi Palmer Home for Children Radiothon.
Good morning from the
You're listening to the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Go to supertalk.fm/PalmerHome to help rescue and restore a child in need. And now with more, here's Richard Cross.
Once again, good morning to you. Final segment of the 7 o'clock hour on Mornings with Richard Cross, SuperTalk Mississippi. We are live today in DeSoto County for the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon, 14th consecutive year that we have been here. Last year, over $300,000 was donated during Radiothon today. We are closing in on $6,000, which means we're getting close to $10,000, which means we're getting close to $20,000 because of the match from Barnhart Crane. We talked with John Enberg a little while ago about the generous donation from the team at Barnhart. Barnhart Crane is not the only business, though, that is partnering with Palmer Home. The annual Feed a Family event is back and features prizes that are better than ever. This annual event allows donors to directly support meals for Palmer Home's 7 campus cottages while competing for a chance to win some great prizes from barbecue master and YouTube celebrity Malcolm Reed. Had a chance to visit with Malcolm a couple of weeks ago, right before the 4th of July holiday, and the entire How to Barbecue Right team and crew is involved with this. You remember when you were a kid and you would go door to door asking for neighbors and family friends to sponsor you for a good cause? Well, the Feed a Family event is similar to that. It's a peer-to-peer fundraising event that means donors can build teams and even do their own third-party fundraisers to raise money. And then the top 3 fundraisers are going to win a prize. You've got plenty of time to build your team, to raise your money for Palmer Home all the way through Labor Day. It's in partnership with Malcolm Reed and the How to Barbecue Right crew. So the prizes are this. The top fundraising team is going to get an Outlaw patio smoker valued at $5,000, and includes a half day with the How to Cook on This Pit team and a lesson from Malcolm himself. That will be at the shop right here in Hernando, or just right close to where we are. Pickup date and the pit lesson can be mutually agreed upon by the winner and Malcolm, so that there's no specific date where you've got to be there to pick it up. The second place team will get a How to Barbecue Right Pitmaster bundle, including a cool variety of How to Barbecue Right apparel, hats, rubs, sauces, specialty items, and more. And then the third place team is going to get a $100 How to Barbecue Right gift card that can be used on their website or in their shop in Hernando. Go to palmerhome.org/events and click on the Feed a Family event to learn more about how to sign up for the fundraiser. So some really cool prizes there. Long-standing partnership between Malcolm Reed. Malcolm first learned about Palmer Home through his relationship with J.T. Thomas. J.T. Williamson. That was Freudian. J.T. Williamson and his love for Palmer Home, his love for cooking. He developed a relationship with Malcolm. Malcolm found out about Palmer Home through J.T., and that's a relationship that has grown and grown and grown through the years. Been telling you about our Paint Mississippi Green campaign. Our goal, one of our goals today, is to have at least one donation from every single county in the state of Mississippi. We've got some action in the Delta. We've got some action in central Mississippi. Got a little action in southwest Mississippi. Lafayette County in north central Mississippi. DeSoto County in the northwestern corner of the state. I think we're going to be painting Lee County green coming up in just a few minutes as well. You want to let me know about a donation that you've made so that we can be anticipating it coming on the board. You can do so on the C Spire text line at 601-879-4395. 601-879-4395. One of the things that we are encouraging you to think about, perhaps to pray about, and to consider doing is making a monthly donation. Not just a one-time donation today, though we certainly welcome that, but also a monthly donation in which your credit card, debit card, checking account, savings account is debited on a monthly basis, same date every single month, so that you know that you are contributing to the ongoing work at Palmer Home for Children. We're glad to be with you today. I'm excited to start the 8 o'clock hour number 3 of this 12-hour radiothon coming up in just a little bit. We're going to get to visit with one of the house parents and one of the children that calls Palmer Home their home today. Thanks for being with us on the 14th annual Palmer Home for Children Radiothon. Closing in on $6,000. When we get to $10,000, that number is going to jump to $20,000 thanks to the generosity of Barnhart Crane and their matching gift today. So help us get to that $10,000 number so that we can match it and really jump and start to make that chalkboard look great. Glad to be with you. You can donate online at supertalk.fm/Palmer Home, or you can call 662-469-5533. That's 662-469-5533. We've got 10 hours remaining with you as we work on this special day on SuperTalk Mississippi. It's the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon. We're back with you right after this.
You're listening to the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Go to supertalk.fm/Palmer Home to help rescue and restore a child in need. Now, here's more.
All right, no more excuses. It's after 8 o'clock. You're up. You've had your coffee. Hopefully you've had a little bit of breakfast. And now it's time to get the day going as we roll into the 8 o'clock hour on the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon right here on SuperTalk Mississippi. I'm Richard Cross. This is normally when you would hear mornings with Richard Cross, and Lance would be playing some country music bangers, and we'd be doing the normal thing, but not today. Today is the day that we stop, and all of our attention is on Palmer Home for Children. Their campus is located in DeSoto County. And we got a lot going on this morning. Right now, we're just shy of, I don't think the board has been updated. I think we're actually closer to that $10,000 match than we were before the break. I was told that we are in the neighborhood of $7,500 through the first couple of hours of the show. Need to get to $10,000 so we can put that $10,000 match on the board as well. But we want to blow way past that as we go through the next couple of hours with you. Don't forget the Paul Gallo Memorial Fund is available to you if you want to make a donation in honor of Paul Gallo, who cared so deeply for Palmer Home for Children, you certainly can do that. And that's what we got. You want to donate, you may do so on the website, supertalk.fm/PalmerHome, supertalk.fm/PalmerHome, or you can call 662-469-5533. My favorite part of this day is what we're about to do, and that's to visit with some of the house parents and some of the children that call Palmer Home home. Now, I'm not trying to shortchange Michael when I say children. I should say young people because Michael is tall. Michael, good morning to you.
Good morning. I'm just glad to be here, really.
Thanks, man. I'm glad that you're here as well. Excited to visit with you and hear some about your story and your interests and the things that are going around. And Charles Martin, who is one of the house parents here at Palmer Home. Charles, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Appreciate, first of all, what you do in this ministry. And that really is, I think, what this is. When you say, I'm going to sign on to be a house parent here at Palmer Home, tell us about how that happened for you.
Well, we've always been lucky enough to be servants in our careers, my wife and I. And, of course, we started in the military, did a long stint in the military, worked in the prison systems for many, many, many years, and started working in children's homes. And like you said, it's a ministry that you get rewarded daily because you can make a difference daily. And we really love what we do.
Michael, tell me something about Charles that he doesn't want everybody to know.
There really isn't nothing to say because he stays by his word. Anytime that we have to do something and he says we're going to do this, we'll do it. That's usually how it goes.
Michael, my family thinks I'm a little crazy because one of the things that I really enjoy doing when I have some downtime is working in the yard. I love to mow and weed eat and edge and keep it. Now, my wife wants me to start a garden. I don't feel like I've got time to start a garden, but my understanding is you are one of the gardening experts here at Palmer Home. Is that accurate?
I mean, we do a good amount of gardening work. We get to learn a lot from Mr. Charles. I've done it in the past, but I haven't done it as much as I have at his house. So really, I'd say that, doing a garden isn't really a bad option. You could really do one. You could tend to it like a lot, but you don't have to always be onto it. Just make sure everything's kept up.
The Hope Grows Garden, Charles. Tell me about that project, how it got started, and how it has grown.
We had the opportunity to get these children to teach them life from the birth of a seed to the harvest of their fruit and vegetables. These children interact daily with weeding, tending, caring for the soil, and they do a fantastic job. They do. Nobody likes to weed, but
no,
they do. And again, we teach them all the way the basic. A seed has to die before life can spring from it, and this is what happens afterwards. And they do a fantastic job. They're very observant. They remember, and they do a great job. We have quite a few kids out there, and they do a fantastic job.
I think the thing that I love about working in the yard, and you said, I hate pulling weeds, but there's instant gratification that goes. Now, the garden from seed to harvest, that's a long process, but there are little steps along the way where you see kind of the fruits of your labor.
Absolutely, especially when you weed the garden.
That's right.
He weed eats a lot, and sometimes he gets a sinister laugh as he weed eats because he's mowing the grass down and everything. He does a great job. He really does.
What's the best thing in your garden, Michael?
I actually like the blueberries a lot. They've been getting pretty good growth lately. We've harvested them about 2-3 times, and
okay.
I actually have some in the house right now. They're in the refrigerator.
There you go.
I still have them saved. I actually think we could get another one really in a couple days. Really.
Okay, another round of picking blueberries.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, I only know enough to be dangerous here. You can't just have a single blueberry plant, right? You have to have two. You have to have a male and female, basically?
We actually have I'd say about 12 or 14 of them. They're like in a row. They're on the other side of the thing. We have them. They've been there for the entire time.
Okay, what about tomatoes? We got tomatoes?
We did just get tomatoes there. We have a couple that were ready. I actually picked a couple weeks ago, they're not too bad. And my main hope, we got Carolina Reapers, and I've really been wanting those to grow, and I want to try like a homemade one, really.
A homemade Carolina Reaper tomato.
Peppers.
Oh, peppers.
Oh, peppers.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Oh, the hot ones.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The hot ones.
We have 3 of them.
Okay. You feeling good about those?
They were all.
You like hot foods?
I like hot foods. They're at a pretty rough start at first, but they're getting there.
Charles, in addition to the garden, you said you were telling me that cattle is part of now. Garden you can do small. You can't do cattle small. Like that's a commitment, right?
It's a commitment to these children. We teach them, just don't water and feed them, but observe the animals. We have Angus out there right now, and they are told to look at the ears, face, eyes, nose, feet, and general body. They check the whole animal. We count the animals daily. We have goats, donkeys, and cattle, and they count them daily. They observe the whole animal for anything limping or bleeding or anything at all, and they do a good job. They have to understand that these animals can't tend themselves. They have to be tended.
Yeah.
And they do, again, another fantastic job. He's on the cattle program also, and he does a great job.
Tell me about the cattle program, Michael.
We haven't had that many changes. We actually used to have only 3 donkeys, and the cattle would really change like a lot, but we only have 10 cattle now, and we have 14 donkeys. There was 4 donkeys born in like the past 6 months. Do
you name the donkeys?
Yeah, we do name them sometimes. We had a couple option names, like most of us wanted to call it like Draco, like the male one, and we have July. I mean, no, not July, but May for one of them, like the month it was born in.
Okay.
Like things like that, like little girl names too. I think there's, if I'm not pretty sure, there's either three females or 1 male, or 2 and 2.
Okay, gotcha. Michael, what do you like to do outside of all the physical labor? So tending the cattle and the garden. What about spare time for fun?
I like to read a lot. That's really my main thing, reading. And I also like video games a lot too. That's one of my hobbies. And that's really it for me. That's what I like to do. And then I also like to build Legos. I have a set, like I have 2 shelves, and it's like I have like assortments of stuff, and like any type of stuff that would really fit there, I'll just take it and put it in there.
All right, so with Legos, you get a kit, you got the directions, you build what's on the box. Do you stop there and then that becomes display, or do you take them apart and then kind of get creative on your own to build something else?
It just depends on how it looks, because sometimes I don't like how it looks, and then I'll put something else in place of it. Like I'll switch different parts out and then put them on there. And there's actually some stuff I've had to that I'd take out completely because it just looks better without it.
Yeah.
Like things like that. That's what I like to do.
Charles, tell me about the pride that you and your wife have, not in a selfish pride way, but in terms of being proud of these boys that you're watching over, seeing their growth, whether it's in gardening or school or extracurricular activities.
Sir, these kids are fantastic. We are proud of the fact that we can be a part of this organization. Palmer Home, again, it gives you every single tool you need to help these children. We don't raise these children. We don't grow these children. We help these children to grow. They do it on their own, and the tools that they give us, that puts the prideness in you. Like you said, it's not a simple pride. It's a proud of what we've done, and we are so thankful to Palmer Home. We really are.
It's an incredible place, and Michael, you're an incredible young man. Thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us this morning.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And good luck with the Carolina Reapers.
Yeah, I'm really excited for those.
Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
You see what I did there. Mornings with Richard Cross, SuperTalk Mississippi, the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon, supertalk.fm/Palmer Home to give.
Good morning from the Venable Glass.
You're listening to the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Go to supertalk.fm/Palmer Home to help rescue and restore a child in need. And now with more, here's Richard Cross.
1866 is when Palmer Home for Children opened its doors. That is 131 years ago. Right now, we are coloring in the 11th county on our Race to Paint Mississippi green. So we are about an eighth of the way. Is that right? 10 out of 80. I can't do the math. Not going to try to. But about an eighth of the way to painting the entire state of Mississippi green. If you have no idea what that means, here's what it means. We want 100% participation from the 82 counties. That is our goal today. At least one donation to Palmer Home for Children from all 82 counties. I think we just hit number 11, plus we have a donation that has come from Tennessee, thanks to Barnhart Crane earlier today. Really incredible stuff. I want to share something with you as Melissa Mowry joins me. She is Vice President. She is over HR and operations here at Palmer Home for Children. You just heard from one of the young men that lives here, Michael, just a minute ago. What an incredible young man. Talked about gardening, talked about cattle, talked about some of his interests. And I asked him, I said, what about school? Where are you in school? And he said, 1 year left. Finishing up high school, and I asked him what he wanted to do, and he said he wants to be a sports agent. My eyes got kind of big. I'm like, you got a lot of work between now and achieving that. And he said that he will start college. There is a partnership between Mississippi State and Ole Miss in which his words, not mine, I couldn't pull this off in 5 years. He said in a 5-year window he will get a bachelor's degree and a law degree through a combination of work with Mississippi State and Ole Miss. And Melissa, that's pretty incredible stuff.
That's amazing. I've heard about that program, actually. I've encouraged my own son to do it. So
outstanding.
Yeah. We have some amazing children here.
I've got 3 at home, and if they were able to pull that off in 5 years, I would be doing cartwheels.
Absolutely.
I don't do cartwheels either. But good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Great to see you. It is a great day. It's one of those days where you're just kind of smiling all day long, and everybody gets to come together, staff and children and volunteers, and you all are here. It's just a great day to celebrate.
Well, and it's a great day also to see the entire state of Mississippi kind of rally around Palmer Home. For a lot of people learning what Palmer Home is for the very first time, I feel like there are fewer people than that because we've talked about it so much, but each year we hear people go, I had no idea that Palmer Home existed. I had no idea about the good work that's going on.
We just, I was sitting with our finance team, and we've got some volunteers answering phones, and one of the volunteers came out and said, man, I came around the corner and pulled up and saw this beautiful building. I had no idea you all were here. And she said, and I've got 2 foster children at home, and I'm going to bring them and show them around and show them the work that you're doing. I mean, it's just, and she works for a company that came to volunteer, so just all the connections that are happening are pretty exciting.
Yeah, they really are. We got a message on the C Spire text line a little while ago from Jill Gilbert, who is Chancery Clerk in Franklin County. She said, as soon as I get to a stopping point, I'm going to make a $100 donation, and I would like to challenge all other 81 Mississippi Chancery clerks to donate to Palmer Home as well. Also, State Representative Carl Oliver, who represents District 46, reminded other legislators that they have an opportunity to donate as well. They're in a special session right now, and so maybe we can get some groupthink with the legislators while they're at the Capitol. When you get bored about whatever is happening in the well, just go to supertalk.fm/Palmer Home and click on that donate button. It's fast, it's easy, and we would love to recognize you so that your constituents will know that you are supporting the good work that is happening at Palmer Home. HR and operations.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes HR is fun, sometimes not so much.
I know. I think we get a bad rap, but here at Palmer Home, our HR team is about developing our employees and our culture, and we really try to focus on our cultural values. We want this to be the best place to work because we have the best mission.
Yeah.
So finding the right people, that's what we're all about, and it's really been a pleasure. I've been here, about 9 years. Not in HR. I've been in a couple other areas too. But it's really been fun to explore the area of people operations and just to see the change and the people that we're able to recruit. And as you can see, just looking around, it's like we're all family. We love being here. We're all focused on the mission of serving children and families. And when you have great people, you're able to do great things. And it's what makes the mission go. So we have open positions right now. We're looking for house parents, of course. We're always looking for more people to care for the children, and then some respite house parents as well that can provide relief for our house parents when they need a break. And so we have, obviously, our website. We've got our careers page, and we would love for anyone listening that wants to get involved in that capacity to check it out.
So tell me about recruiting house parents and what qualities you're looking for, what that pitch looks like, what it looks like when people come to you.
So that has been something that we've explored over the past couple years to try to reach different demographics of people that may be interested. As you can imagine, it's a unique set of people that feel called. It's really mission work. So really looking at people who are interested in fostering. This is essentially living on campus with a home of foster children. In that capacity. You can bring your biological children. We'll provide the home, the vehicles, the budget, the food, the activities, the support, the training. We'll provide all that. We just need people that are willing to come and serve for a season that, could be a couple years, just that God has said you might enjoy this mission. And so that's really what we're looking for, is a husband and wife that are Christ-centered and are here to serve.
There has to be a lot of love and a lot of compassion in those hearts as well, because it's not an easy job, but it is an unbelievably rewarding job, I would have to believe.
Yeah, and as you just heard from Mr. Martin, one of our house parents, they just love on these kids. And just seeing them. So we have a group chat for our staff where we share pictures of what's going on so everyone can stay connected, even our remote employees. And he is often posting pictures of the kids at the pool or fishing or learning something new or working in the garden. And, it allows us to see what they're doing, but also see what the house parents are doing for the children. They're just supporting them, providing hope, a safe environment where they can heal. And as you know, this is a beautiful facility for them to do that in. And the house parents really are the heartbeat of our mission.
Really all we've talked about today, and I hope it's for most of the day where our focus stays, is on the good and the restoration and the hope that is provided, the love that's provided. But the truth of the matter is, some of these situations can start in a really dark place and a really difficult place, especially when children newly arrive.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Some of the stories, we say stories, but it's their life. It's not really a story. It's really, truly happening. And what we like to say is that we're not, we're thankful that they're here, and, we're thankful we exist for them, because there's not a lot of opportunities for them to experience a place like this. Obviously, there's, state foster care and other programs and alternatives, but we're just grateful to be here for them and to have people. And we have a huge staff of licensed social workers that know exactly what to do when these children come in and know exactly how to treat them. And of course, our Whole Child Initiative, that's our trauma-informed philosophy of care, that the whole staff has to go through that training. And so we all also experience that. So if we have these new children or young adults that come in, we know how to approach them. We know what to say. We know what to not say, to make sure that they feel welcome and supported and loved in an environment that's new to them.
Melissa Mallory, Vice President and HR Director and Operations here at Palmer Home. The growth is, to me, what just stands out. And I know I've said this and sound like a broken record, but because of the length of time we've been doing this, we've been able to watch some of these children grow from a young place where maybe they're a little scared and a little timid and haven't come out of their shell to Michael type ages where it's like, man, the world is his oyster at this point.
It's so amazing to see. I mean, being here as long as I have, I actually started on the Columbus campus in 2017, and so got to know a lot of those children who are now young adults that are here, and being able to see them. Some are at college, some of them are in high school, and it's just amazing to see the transformation that they've experienced, that they're willing to give me a hug when maybe when they first came in, that's not what they were thinking about.
Sure.
They just wanted to be safe. And just to be able to see that change and the transformation of the organization, we've been able to add service lines. We've been able to serve more children in different capacities. So it really is an exciting time, and I'm super thankful to be a part of it.
Palmer Home accepts no government money whatsoever. It relies exclusively on donations from people and from businesses just like you and yours. And we would love for you to donate today. supertalk.fm/Palmer Home, 662-469-5533. Melissa, thanks so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're back with you right after this.
From the You're listening to the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Go to supertalk.fm/Palmer Home to help rescue and restore a child in need. Now, here's more.
If you're watching on SuperTalk TV, you see that donations have now topped $8,000, and I think that number has grown a little bit. We'll have another update coming for you in just a few minutes. Our first kind of landmark number today will be $10,000, because when we hit $10,000 in donations from you, we will plug in that $10,000 matching donation from our friends at Barnhart Crane. We had a great conversation with John Enberg. He talked to us about the culture at Barnhart. He said that we are a little bit unique, and then we see ourselves as a kingdom-based company. Leadership at Barnhart recognizes that all the gifts that they have as a business are gifts from God, and that they are trying to share those forward. And so they are making a $10,000 donation to match the first $10,000 donated this morning. An incredible way to start the day, which means we need your donations as well. You can make those online at supertalk.fm/Palmer Home or by calling 662-469-5533. And if you're not, if you can't write that down or remember that, then do what Hogman did. Send me a message on the C Spire text line at 601-879-4395 that says, hey, how do I donate? And I will send you the link, and I will send you the phone number and make it as easy as we possibly can for you. I also love that we have the Paint Mississippi Green map. As a donation comes in, we will make sure that the county from which it comes is painted green. We're at about a dozen of those right now, and that's turning into a thing as well. Just got a message that says, Paint Panola Green. I just donated in honor of our dear friend Madison Drake. That is from Meredith and Will Fleming. So Meredith and Will, thank you for that. And we will get it painted green in the next update. Drake Bassett joins me now, President and CEO. We got to visit on the radio just a week or so ago, and it's great to see you in person, my friend.
Great to see you. Thanks for being here. We're off to a great start. Those first few dollars that get us out of the gate, that's the foundation, and pretty soon we'll get to 10,000, and it'll get matched. And I heard your conversation with Barnhart. I thought it was a great outlook, just such a great way to think about our resources and think about how we can make a difference. And so you get to a day like today, and that extra $20, that extra $5, whatever it is, realizing you can make that sort of impact in the world with our kids, and like I said, listening to that general disposition, not going to hold on to it too tight. I'm going to let it spread. And so I loved hearing that conversation that you had, and really glad that you guys are here, and we're off to a great start today.
Sometimes if you're at church, like before the offering, you will hear a prayer where somebody uses the words, I hope that you will bless the gift and the giver.
Right.
And so many times when you give, you end up almost getting more in return than you ever could have imagined. And I feel like Palmer Home is one of the ways that really does come to fruition. When you recognize the work that's going on, the transformation that's happening in young people's lives, It's pretty special.
It is pretty special. And, right before I came over here, I was talking with a couple of people and some house parents, and they were just telling me really quick, some things that had happened with our kids this week. But what they were really telling me was, look how well he's doing. Look how much they're growing. Look at their disposition and how they're really responding. Because sometimes people think, well, if a child comes out of a trauma-oriented background, it's going to take years to overcome. And I'm not going to question the fact that there are some obstacles for children that may take years. But it is amazing when you start to water the life of a child with consistency, with kindness, with affection. That's when we see this incredible transformation happen, sometimes much quicker than we ever expected. The boy we were talking about this morning a year ago, you wouldn't have gotten that smile. You wouldn't have gotten that support. But when these people here, and that's why our donors, it's so important that you support these folks here, because every single day they're pouring into these lives, and boom, we're seeing great transformation.
Drake, you have said to me on the radio multiple times, and I want people to hear you say this today, as a donor, as someone who is interested, you are invited to come to campus here. Now, you don't need to just show up unannounced. It would be great if you could reach out in advance and say, hey, I'd like to learn more. I'd like to see what it is with my own eyes that's going on. I want to hear you say that again.
Yeah, I really do believe that sometimes that people hear about things, we read about things, we see things, but once you actually come out here and spend time here, and you don't have to spend a lot of time, you can spend an hour. And in an hour, you're going to get a great feel for our people, you're going to get a great feel for our mission, our history, you're going to see the resources we have that are able to help people, and, you're going to leave going, I'm a part of that and I want to be a part of it. I have a much better understanding. So by all means, we do invite people. You can come unscheduled. That may be maybe a little awkward here or there. But if you just call us, even if you just show up and you say, hey, I'd just love to visit. We've got some great people that give great tours.
Yeah.
And then they also tell the story. And again, this isn't history stuff. We've got children right now. We're changing lives.
Sherry in Louisville, I on demand. She says donation link. I'm going to send it to you right now, Sherry. It is supertalk.fm/PalmerHome, or you can call 662-469-5533. Sorry, I'm a slow typer, but there you go, Sherry. Sent to you. And appreciate you reaching out. We want to be as user-friendly as we can possibly be. Drake, not to be overly spiritual here, it is evident to me that God is at work at Palmer Home. And it is also evident to me that God is at work in your life. And he said he wasn't done with you yet. I may be saying more than you want me to say, or you're uncomfortable with.
No, that's okay.
And so I will apologize in advance for that. But let me just leave it at it has been a very trying and difficult and challenging year for you from a health standpoint.
Yeah.
And at one point, the odds didn't look great that you were going to continue in this role as president and CEO, but God's not done with you yet.
No, apparently not. And, and even hearing you describe that, because I've heard all my life, people who have different medical challenges and different things like that. And, of course, we're empathetic. And, of course, we always reach out. And if you called and told me, yeah, I'm battling this, I would really feel it. But when you go through something, when you spend a lot of time staring at the ceiling because you really can't get up, or your energy level's gone, or you're waiting to heal. And there are a lot of people out there today. I will say this. I know there are a lot of people out there today who can't get up and move the way they want. They can't get out and do the things that they want. And, my heart goes there, and I really do trust and encourage people to trust in God on that, as hard as that is. And I think me going through that, I had to appreciate that. I don't like to slow down.
Right.
I didn't like getting knocked off the track. really happy to be back on the track, and as you said, overcame some odds. But here we are. But it definitely puts perspective in things, and it says, what's most important? What is most important?
All right, so you use that word perspective, and that's where I wanted to go next, because I feel like through the years you have had a pretty good perspective about the big picture, but also kind of the micro as it exists with Palmer Home. Did being faced with your own mortality change your perspective at all in the way that things happen here?
Yeah, I think you can't help but be affected in some way. So for me, it was really interesting that I remember as I was slowly recovering, getting up and just thinking, dude, you've got today. That's what you've got. And as much as we talk about that, take one day at a time in your life, and that's what, because I'm always planning, and what I realized was, in a heartbeat, literally, your life can change, time can change, resources can change, but what you also see is that we truly are part of God's resources, and He'll use us how He wants to. And my time is finite, your time is finite, we're all doing that, but it's really God who's orchestrating the whole story.
Yeah.
And so we're here to serve, and when we say that, we mean it, but sometimes we get exclamation points by saying, no, I really mean it. This is now where I want you to serve. Your life is going to change, or any number of things. But it has definitely broadened that perspective.
An opportunity for you to serve today. And Palmer Home, for a number of years, has used the phrase time, talents, and treasure. Yes, our focus today is on treasure, in that we are raising money for the continued work at Palmer Home. But please know that donating your time is important here. Donating the talents that you have to perhaps share with the children is something that is important here as well. And if you want to learn more, go to palmerhome.org or reach out and say, can I come visit? Can I come meet a couple of the kids? Can
Please
I come
do.
see how it is that you are operating? Get a message. I donated $90 to say thanks to the great 90s country that Lance gives us every Wednesday. Whatever it is that works for you, that works for us. Supertalk.fm/Palmer Home, 662-469-5533.
From the Venable Glass Truck.
You're listening to the Palmer Home for Children Radiothon here on SuperTalk Mississippi. Go to supertalk.fm/Palmer Home to help rescue and restore a child in need. And now with more, here's Richard Cross.
Thank you for the messages on the C Spire text line. 601-879-4395 says, got one, just made a donation on Venmo with a big old thumbs up. Our buddy Hogman is challenging all of the Razorback fans in the state of Mississippi to donate, just like he did. So would all three Razorback fans jump on board and make your donation right now? No, Hogman. You're one of the good guys, and we appreciate it very much. I want to share two stories.
Okay.
Story time, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Howard Williams.
Okay.
Know Howard?
Yep.
Howard is an alum of Palmer Home. Grew up here. And he called just a few minutes ago, and he made a $500 donation in honor of all of the house parents that, quote, his words, not mine, changed the course of my life.
Wow.
Close quote. And especially in honor of Bertie, who recently passed away, spent more than 30 years as a house parent at Palmer Home. Howard married a young woman who also is a Palmer Home alum, and they are making their way together as a family now. What a
great story.
Beautiful story.
Absolutely.
And a story of generosity from Howard this morning. So
Very
Howard,
kind of him.
Thank you.
And I just love seeing, we talk about paying it forward or however you want to call it, but what a generous gift from him, but also just the token of kindness, and thankfulness for, as he said, people who changed the course of his life. That's the kind of stuff that happens here, and we're super, super thankful for that.
So that's one. Here's another one.
Okay.
This one hits close to home. Because I've said throughout the course of the day and weeks and years that one of the coolest things about this is we have gotten to see some kids grow up. And the first one that comes to mind is BJ.
Yeah.
Because how old was BJ when he
came here? He was quite young.
He was young.
Yeah, he was under 10.
And we have watched BJ work his way through
everything.
Middle school, junior high, high school, graduating, and he came in, and I was messing with him. I said, "It's about time you got out of bed." He said, "Man," he said, "I've been up since 4 o'clock." I said, "What are you doing at 4 o'clock? Why?" He is current. I think. Can I say where he's working?
Absolutely.
BJ is working as an electrician's assistant at FedEx. Said that on August 28th he will finish the training and will become an electrician. He said he was debating between becoming a barber and an electrician, and I know there's some very successful barbers out there, but he looked at the numbers on paper. He's like, man, I got to go this electrician route. And is hopeful that there will be a full-time job at FedEx for him. He said that's what he's working toward, but if not there,
somewhere.
I mean, how many days a week do we talk about the need for skilled labor in the trades and electricians and the opportunity? And
so it's fantastic.
My heart just it's his journey. It's not ours.
Right.
But I'm so proud of him and proud for him. And this is what your donations are doing. They are helping not just BJ, but everybody that's like BJ become who they can become.
Absolutely. Well, you saw when he came in the room. We're in the big gathering place room here, and we saw him across the room. He's a healthy big boy, and did you see how many people just hugged him and received, because they know him?
Yeah.
Right. And think about it this way: that's his community. The people that are here, you're creating a family network. You're creating a support network. For kids who are like him, who came under age of 10, grew up here.
Yeah.
And we know his stories. We went to his football games. We saw all the things, And so when he comes in here and says, hey, I'm making $25 an hour, or I'm doing whatever, you're right. We are proud of him. And I think all of you who are donors out there, that's the way we see it. You partner with us in creating those stories. And so you can be proud of BJ too.
Yeah. Somebody said turn Pontotoc green. I think we've got Pontotoc turned green as well.
Maybe Kristen's family kicked in. Yeah, there we go.
We appreciate that very much. I'm kind of big voice and big personality and boisterous sometimes, and I remember the first couple of times we talked to BJ. I don't want to say it was like pulling teeth, but he was shy and kind of introverted, and he walked up and gave me the biggest hug, and I just so proud for BJ and all the kids that are getting an opportunity that they wouldn't have otherwise because of Palmer Home for Children. And Palmer Home is able to exist because of people just like you. If you're listening, don't think, oh, he's talking to my neighbor, he's talking to the other guy driving down the road in an F-150, not me in my truck. No, I'm talking to you. Wherever you are in Mississippi, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
$1, $100, $1,000, $1 million. Don't care what the amount is, but know today that you made a difference in a child's life by donating to Palmer Home for Children. Supertalk.fm/Palmer Home, 662-469-5533. Thanks, Drake.
You bet. That's great.
Back with you after this.
A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.